Great, how you guys doing? I think we did this once last year, right? Over here?
Sketch very often.
Yeah, all right. You guys hear me okay now? Better? All right, nice.
How do you attribute those kind of like weird angle throws when you're rolling out and stuff to baseball and some of the motion that requires?
Well, for sure. I think that a lot of that comes from baseball, playing middle infield and all that, to be able to throw at different angles. I think it's also practice too. We always, Coach Tater, Coach Carl Smith, we always practice on our game, and just you have to find ways in this game to make throws and to make completions and give guys chances like Jimmy the other day. And he made a phenomenal catch, and that's what makes him arguably the best tight end in the National Football League. And he made that great play.
Is that something you just started practicing once you got to the Seahawks, or did you practice those kind of weird angles earlier in your career?
No, I've done that ever since I was little. I think about when I was young, playing in the snow in Virginia. Playing at my friends' houses and stuff like that. And, playing recess, doing all that kind of stuff. You practice all those kind of things. I think also, like I said, from baseball, fielding ground balls from all different angles, having to throw it to first, second, whatever. And then, I think also the early mornings with my dad, early in the mornings, just practicing the game. And like I said, I attribute a lot of that to Coach Carl Smith too, just how we practice, and we do a lot of different things, especially in training camp and beginning of practice, just to throw different balls.
Jameis wants to talk about you being the Pro Bowl and you guys imparting some wisdom on how to be professional in that sense. What do you remember about being him?
Well, he's a great competitor, first of all, Jameis. I love him as a quarterback. He's phenomenal. He makes a lot of great plays, a lot of great throws. Like I said, he's the ultimate competitor, and being around him was great to spend time with him, and we really connected. We really clicked in a really good way, asking tons of questions he was. And I remember, when I was a rookie and I was able to go to the Pro Bowl, and I was around Drew Brees and Eli Manning and Peyton Manning and those guys, I was able to ask Drew and Peyton specifically a bunch of questions, and just trying to gain knowledge of the game and how they do it and how they go about their professionalism and all that. And there's a lot of the questions I guess James was asking in the sense of how do I go about the week, how do I go about the off season and different little things. So like I said, he's a great player. I got tons of respect for who he is and what he's been doing. And he's a great football player. He'll be a great football player for a long time.
What's your favorite question that you go to when you meet another quarterback or a retired guy or something like that? What's your number one question?
I remember when I was coming into the National Football League, and coming into it, and after my first year, I had the opportunity to meet a bunch of different people. And I specifically remember times where, after that first year, we had those playoff games, and I went down to the Super Bowl. We went down to New Orleans for the Super Bowl, and I was able to, get on stage and do, some of the broadcasting stuff and be around certain people and players and coaches. I remember asking Bill Cowher and other, NFL players, what takes a player from good to great and great to elite, and also from the elite to the Hall of Famer. And a lot of those, in every single person, and a lot of those people were Hall of Fame coaches or players that I asked. All of them said that the biggest difference is those who can be consistent, on and off the field, on the daily approach, what they can do, how they approach the game, how they approach practice, how they approach life, their attitude, and ultimately, continuing to put the game, at its highest, meaning respecting the process, always respecting the process, always respecting the journey, treating every day as a new day. And so, I gravitated towards that, and that's how my parents raised me. I attribute a lot of that to my mom and my dad, and how they raised me about, respecting the opportunity that you have and being grateful for the opportunity. Pun intended, it's Thanksgiving, but being thankful for every opportunity that you get, and you don't want to miss a moment. I was telling some of the guys today, let's not miss a moment. Let's not miss a day. Let's not miss a note. Let's not miss a pass. Let's not miss anything. Every time, if we have a chance to gravitate towards it and be quote unquote thankful for it, but also really appreciate the moment that you're in and just be focused on the moment. Then it gives us a really good chance of being successful more times than not. And so that's what I learned in a really cool way at a young age, as I said, from my parents, but also when I had the opportunity to be around some NFL players and professional baseball players too. I was able to ask those questions.
Some people might say, why would you help a potential competitor whether it's Jameis Winston or Drew Brees helping you. What do you think it is about the offense that you're willing to help out a guy you might see on the field in a competitive environment?
Well, I think first of all, there's no fear. I think that's the first thing. I think second of all, when I say that, what I mean by that is you always want to prepare your game. You always want to prepare at the highest level for yourself, and then also very similar to, I guess, kind of philosophical ways. When you can fervently approach how you go about your own business and continue to pass that on to others, I think that you grow. And I think that's kind of really, really important for me is, I want to spread as much knowledge because it helps me gain knowledge, and it helps me continue to stay in the moment. It helps me continue to stay focused on the little steps that help me get there. And so I have a note in my locker that I put up, and it says back to the basics, and that's every day. Just keep going back to the basics. Keep going back to the basics, the fundamentals of it, and when you enjoy that process, and I've always said this, don't get bored with consistency, and I think that's a really, really important process and thought for me is don't get bored with it. Continue to be there, continue to take notes, continue to love the game, continue to have the same passion every day. Every time I watch film, continue to study as much as I can. And so, like I said, I think those are the points that I make of it. When you love the game, how could you not share the game?
Russell, you guys travel more than all but two other teams this season, I think. I know what you were just talking about, planning every minute of your day. What do you do on those long plane rides? What will you do this weekend going to Tampa?
Well, going to Tampa, whenever we travel on the road, especially a lot of times we have to go all the way across the country. So the first thing that I'll do is I normally protect my legs, especially this year. I've been really trying to take care of my legs as much as I can. So my legs don't get too heavy or whatever. I try to stay fresh as possible, move as much as I can on the plane, but also study on the plane. That's when I get a lot of my checks in, a lot of my looks, a lot of if they do this, what am I going to do? Type of solutions in, and really game plan as much as I can, and tons of studying. That's what I do here too at home on Fridays too as well. When I first get done with practice and all, so I try to stay consistent with that and just study as much as I can. Watch some film, maybe get a little bit of quote unquote rest, I guess, if you can fall asleep. But those are the things that I try to do as much as I can.
Anything else?
Thank you guys. Go Hawks. Soto Arena.